topics relating to our environment, biography, facts about famous people with positive stories and impact, religion, nature, education, skill development, interviews with intriguing guests, and many more. Inspire with the aspiration. All right, welcome everyone to this day. It's actually a great day for me. I don't know about you that are watching us from online and from TikTok, from Facebook, and from Instagram. I want to appreciate every one of us for our consistency, following me all along. When I was doing this on my own without even planning to have guests and all of that. But with this opportunity, I'm having guests that will be thrilling us with all kind of discussion from various aspects of life. Today is our grand opening of the new venue, Inspire with the Aspiration. Like I said before, we're going to be thrilling you with different topics and with different kind of people in all walks of life, religious wise, entrepreneur, business people, artists, singers, and people who are willing to share their life story with us so that we can actually learn. Because one thing I always tell people is this, some of us actually feel that the issue that we are going through in life, we are the only one going through it. There are people who have gone through it and they have come out of it, and there are people who are even going through worse issues than that. So these are the kind of things that we will be discussing in this place. I believe this is going to be the best in town, the best in Cape Town, and in best in South Africa, with God helping us, not by our strength, but by the willing of God in this, let me not call it ministry, in this talk show and podcast. Today, I have with me somebody that is going to introduce himself better than I think I could do. I believe he knows himself better than I know him. Though I met him recently in the church. I saw him playing keyboard, and before I knew it, after a few weeks, I saw him singing, of which I believe there's more to him. There's a lot that he can tell about us, and there's a lot I think he can do. Recently, I I discovered that he's a man of God, which he will tell us about. So feel free. Like I said yesterday when I was introducing this platform, I said to us that if we're online, if you have any question to ask, for now, I can't take your question through testing or through writing on our social media link. You can actually call. You can call us on our numbers. You can call us on our numbers. I think I don't have the number here. I don't have the number here. You can call us on our number. Why the internet? I think one of the numbers is missing here. One of the numbers is your WhatsApp connected to this. Hmm, I can't have it. The number I have here, it's just check my notepad. I think it's there. So the number to call us why this live broadcast is going. You might have a question that you want to ask. You can bring it to me. It's fine. I just have a 2 6. Okay. 65. Okay. I think I just missed one number. You can have it. Yeah. Yeah, why this live broadcast is going on, you can reach us or you can call us. There's a phone with us that we can take your call in case you want to ask any question regarding any topics or what he will be discussing about or the question I will be asking. If you want to call us or if you want to reach us, you can call on this number 0602812535, 0628125365. I call again, I repeat again, 06281255361. And those of us who will be calling from outside South Africa, if you want to add the international dialing code, is simply +2 +2 7 6281 25365. So you can call us while we are on this live show this morning. You can call us to ask your questions regarding any topic or what we'll be discussing here. Like as I said before, I have our guest today that will be speaking on various aspects of life, and depending on the question I'll be asking him. So let me switch to him. Let me switch to him. Sir, you are welcome to this live broadcast.
Thank
And
you so much.
well, I'm so grateful to God that you are the first person that I'm hosting.
Thank
Being
you.
a man of God, being a man of God, I believe you will bless us with the word and you will bless us with music today. But when the time comes, we'll talk about that. So, firstly, I want you to tell us about yourself. Just introduce yourself to us.
Thank you so much for this opportunity.
All right.
With this video. I
All right.
bless all of you watching us online. I believe this is going to be the taking of a long journey, and I believe that the Lord will be with us.
Amen. Amen.
I am only grateful to be received on the platform,
Amen.
being the first, like Jesus, the firstborn among many.
Yes. That's true.
So I'm only the first invitee in the
Okay.
midst of thousands of them we are going to be receiving on this platform.
Mm.
And before I even present myself, I just want to let the viewers know that this will not only be a platform where we talk about, everybody's doing, for the sake of content creation,
Okay.
everybody's doing everything online now.
Yeah.
But there are channels like this one
Okay.
that will make sure that every time a viewer is connected,
Okay.
it will not get out the same.
Mm.
And knowledge will be added, and experience will be added. And sometimes it is very good to watch somebody's experience and then know that what you are going through, you are not the only one. There are people that pioneered the way.
Wow.
And when you follow the testimonies of those people, what it does is it builds faith in you to be able to know that if they went through this and they came out on the other side of the river, me too will I do that. So I really wish everybody to remain connected on this platform, and the Lord will bless you. My name is God
Okay.
Angel Luzolo.
Wow. God Angel Luzolo.
Luzolo.
Okay.
I'm a Congolese born.
Mm-mm.
I'm from the DRC. I'm a servant of God. I operate in a prophetic ministry and in a worship ministry. Um, I've been in this country for just under a decade now.
Okay. Which country, sir?
Yeah, here.
In South Africa.
Yes. I've been in South Africa for just under a decade. And the Lord has been helping us. And so that is what I'm actually a compendium of a lot of things. I'm a servant of God. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a music director. I'm a singer. I'm a musician. I'm a music professor because sometimes I organize musical academies in churches, places. For the past 5 to 10 years, we've been having a debate online with churches about if we should pay musicians or not.
Okay, I'll get to that. I'll get to that. I'll get to that.
So,
okay.
The cure to that.
Okay.
For me, I found the cure to that. So my strategy was going into churches, propose to them that let me train the younger generation. So
train,
that you
train the younger generation.
Yes, let me
the
train
generations in church. In their various churches.
Yes.
Okay.
So give me your people, give me your young people, men and women from about 10 years old to 18 years old. And I will train them, teach them music, how to sing, how to play this and that. And I'm not actually alone. It's a team of people. And then we train you, and then it saves you from that stress of paying people. Because what also happens, and I know this as a pastor, the stress is, and this is one of the reasons why I got angry about this, and I decided to go into the world of music. When you have people that you are paying, sometimes it creates a little pride in them. So what usually happens is the person can decide to come or not. The person will not be completely committed. So what will happen is if another church proposes a higher amount of
I
money,
am.
the
Okay.
person will easily be inflated to go. So I, one of the days I remember many years ago, what happened is you will come on a Sunday service like this, the keyboardist is not there.
Okay.
Then another week you will come, the drummer is late
Mm.
at their own convenience. And then another week you will come, the guitarist is not. So I got,
Are they paid? Those
of
people, are
course,
they
they are
paid
paid. Yes,
instrumentalists?
yes.
Okay.
So, but it was not really paid. The term paid is something to still be discussed. It was an encouragement to
Okay.
encourage their ministry and stuff. So sometimes this one will come, this other one will not come, and at their own convenience.
Okay.
That's how I now got angry. I said, okay, I'm gonna learn to play all these things.
Oh wow, wow, wow. Was that in your own church?
Yes.
Okay.
So no, not in my own church as per se that I founded the church. No,
Oh, okay, okay.
it was in where we grew up, and
Oh
this
yeah,
was
yeah.
many years ago.
Mm.
So I decided to no, I need to learn these things
Okay.
so that we cannot, because something I learned throughout my journey in ministry and in life, it is that nobody is indispensable in the agenda of God.
Mm.
Every time you get to the point where you believe that if I'm not there, things will not go well, God will teach you a lesson. He will bring an outsider that is better than you.
Mm.
So nobody's indispensable in the service of God. That's why Jesus told them, if you will not praise, I will raise stones. You know, so I got very much interested into those things. I started learning the piano. I didn't know how to sing. I didn't know. Sometimes people are impressed and say that, oh, the way I didn't know how to sing. I had a beautiful voice, but I didn't know technically how to sing.
How to sing?
I had to learn. I paid the price. It was sacrifices, diligence, discipline, consecration, commitment, and then the Lord now helped me.
Oh, wow.
So it was all those things. So that's just part of the stuff. I'm a financial engineer.
Oh wow. Financial engineer.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm a brand strategist, a
Okay.
marketing specialist, a communication expert,
Okay.
and you know, I'm actually a compendium of a lot of things,
All
and
right.
the Lord has just helped us a little.
All right, good.
Thank you.
Okay, I'm not trying to cut you short, but
Please.
there are two things you actually mentioned. You
Yes.
know, this part of paying instrumentalists, it was at the bottom of the question I'll be asking you. But I'm
Okay.
happy that you actually brought it out
Yes.
earlier. So, with what you've said, I want to ask two questions there. There's this word we always hear people saying when you are doing a lot of things at a time that it is difficult for those things to actually succeed. If you're doing a lot of things, like you're doing this, you're doing that, I'm that kind of person. I can do multiple things at a time.
Yes. Yes.
I don't want to be lazy. I don't like being lazy, and I
Yes,
don't like
yes.
people who are lazy. So, and I always hear people telling me, you can't do this, you can't do that, you can't do this. But for me, at the same time, most of those things we will try to do them.
Yes.
If
Yes.
it works, it works. Because I've discovered that in our society these days, when this person is preaching this way, the other one is preaching against it. Some will ask you, some will actually tell you, go and try it. It's because you're not trying it, that's why you're not succeeding.
Yes.
And some will say you can't do a lot of things at the same time.
Yes,
So
yes.
there's a bit of
Yes.
funny
Yes.
discussion when it comes to that.
Yes.
So
Yes.
with all of those things you mentioned that you are doing, are you prospering in all of them?
Okay, you need to understand that I'm not doing all these things at the same time.
Okay.
I'm not a communication expert somewhere in another place working as a brand strategist and then a musician and then a pastor. No.
Okay.
I'm a compendium of a lot of things because it is the one you see now
Okay.
is the product of a journey.
Oh, okay. Wow.
The
Wow.
biscuits you see in the marketplace,
Okay.
in the shelves in a store, that biscuit,
Mm.
it is like that because it went through a journey.
Process.
We call it the term is gone, but it's to get to a certain value. There is a process
Okay.
that you will go through. We call it value chain.
Value chain.
Yes, we call it value chain. All the things the people had to go through in order to produce that last result. So there is a time in my life where, according to the journey of God, the agenda of God, I had to learn something. There is a time that there is a window that opened at a certain stage and place and time in my life where I was working in the government. Then there was a time that came where I opened a music school and I was training people.
Okay.
And then there is a time that came where I found another. So it's all these things that I've said. It's. I usually say life is like
Okay.
a movie which is a compendium of a lot of scenarios. People change clothes, people change scenes, people change. So it's a lot of things. It's an entire journey. It's many years.
Mm.
So there is a time where I did this, a time where I did that, a time where I tried this. So it's all those things that brings me to become who I am today. Yeah. So I'm not doing a lot of things at the same time. In the same time. Right now, I'm just focused on ministry.
Okay. Do you actually have time for yourself?
I don't believe in having time for myself yet.
Yes. Okay, I get that one.
There is a time the time will arrive where you will rest.
Okay. Mm.
But
Mm.
there is a certain period that is allocated. We don't have enough time. This is
Mm.
one of the lies that the devil have succeeded to inculcate in people's head.
Mm.
We don't have time.
Time.
So this portion of the I don't one of the mighty preachers in the world, he died. He's late.
Mm.
He said, I don't want to grow and become old and have a regret of something that I should have done and I didn't.
Mm.
You know? So I believe one of the best times and moments we have to serve God with all our might and strength
Okay.
is during the period of our youth.
Okay.
Because after when you start reaching 50s, your strength start depleting.
So does this have to do with what the Bible said? Remember the Lord your God in the days of your youth,
That's exactly
when the
it.
evil days have not come.
That's exactly it.
Okay.
And God is not the type of people that will, God is not a dictator.
Okay.
If you decide that you will walk with God when you are, God, okay, God has an agenda for your life.
Okay.
But the fulfillment of that agenda depends completely on you.
Mm.
Because the fulfillment of your destiny will happen by you collaborating with the Holy Spirit.
Mm.
You receiving direction of where you're supposed to be, what you're supposed to do. And then that's how the implementation of God's agenda happens in your life.
Okay.
So if you don't want, if you decide that, okay, I'm still young, I want to live my life, I want to drink and do this, I want to explore. That's the language here.
Mm.
I want to explore. God will wait for you.
Okay.
By the time you wake up when you are 65 and you say, okay, now I want to food, that's also when God will start with you. But the thing is, there are things the Lord will have done with you if you started at 23 that He can't do anymore at 65.
You're right. You know, I did a video
Mm.
recently, I think last week. I said, if what I know now I knew them before, I think I would have gone far in life.
Yeah.
And I said, those people who are single, you still have an opportunity to do a lot of things
Exactly.
now before you get married.
Exactly.
Because now, when you are married, you'll be limited to some places you can actually go. You can, if you're not married, if you're single, you can take your bag and say, I'm going to Joburg, I'm
Yes.
traveling to Dubai anytime you want. Because
Yes.
why? You don't have bills, you don't have school fees to pay, you don't have wife to take
You
care
don't have
of, and
responsibilities.
all of that.
You
So,
don't have.
but now, most people, they actually try to achieve their dream when they are married and when those evil days have come. So it's actually not a good thing. It's actually not a good thing. And there's something I wanted to say, and I think it escaped me. But okay, I'll let you continue.
So you are really right. We there is a time that is allocated to us.
Okay.
And if you miss that time, listen, the greatest commodity we have in life is time.
Time.
And time is something that might not be redeemed.
Okay.
I know there is a belief there is a belief in churches.
Okay.
That Joel chapter 2, after all the things that the children of Israel went through their captivities and all those things, a time came where God now came and said, I will restore the years that the locust has. I know people have that idea of God restoring the years, but people need to understand exactly what it means to restore the years. Because the greatest commodity we have is time. And time is not something you can lose and regain again. Time passes. Everybody, a poor person and a successful person, all of them have 24 hours. It's
Okay.
about what you are using the 24 hours to do. So it's about that. So I believe this thing of having time for you, it's very good because we are serving God, but we only have one vessel, one body. If you don't take care of your body properly, how are you going to serve God effectively? So I believe in taking care of yourself, but not now.
Okay.
There is a time where you need to labor. There is a time where you need to. It will amaze you to discover how much sleep successful people have. It will amaze you to discover that there are people that sleep 2 hours only. Because there is a level of consecration. People don't. That's why people take greatness and success for granted. It is because they don't know the requirements, the things it takes to get at a certain level of greatness and effectivity. They think that you can just sleep and wake up and you are now successful. No, it takes it's sacrifice, it's compromises, it's consecration, it's diligence, it's discipline. In show me any successful man, I will show you the track records of his diligence. So there is a price the person paid. So if you see somebody taking somebody's success for granted, it is because he has not understood what it takes to get there. So it is very important to take care of the only vessel the Lord has given you. It's very important to have time for sports. And this is also another thing. What is the meaning of having time for yourself? What is the meaning of having time for yourself? So I believe that is my own opinion. That for now, I need to labor. I have not done anything. And the agenda that God wants to reveal to a generation through me will require me to waste time for Him. It's not yet the time to go and I was amazed when Daddy Oyedepo, one of the mighty generals we have in our generation, he said something. He said he does not remember the day he took a break from ministry. He does not remember the day he decided and said, okay, I want to take a break.
Okay, so let's take this one.
Okay.
Hello. Oh, okay, sorry, you can continue.
So Daddy Oyedepo said, I don't remember any day I took a break. Okay. So if a man at that stature,
someone who is successful already, is
and
still
says, I don't remember having taken a break from me. What about us? We have not even reached the 25% of what the man have achieved. We need to labor. This generation is very lazy. That's why they introduce these terms. Oh, you need to take care of you. Come on.
And you know one thing, I see that even in the society, the scientists, they are even producing or generating things that will make people lazy the more.
Exactly.
Something like AI, of which I don't want to talk about it. I was made to understand that AI, it's there to solve your problem, which it will make people lazy. Well, before we continue, for those viewers, people who are watching us and all that, I want you to understand that this podcast is not about church or whatever. It's just because of the person that our guest today is a minister. So that's why we are going through this route. Either you're a Christian, Muslim, or whatever, this is meant for you. This whatever thing we are saying is meant for everybody. So, I was telling somebody, I said, I don't sleep at night. If my wife was there, she would tell you,
okay,
I can't sleep. I can't sleep. There's no way I can sleep 2 hours straight. It doesn't happen. Something will always wake me up. I'm always troubled in the night. What am I stressed? I just want to, not even to make money.
Yeah.
I just want my destiny to come to reality.
Yeah.
So I was telling him, I said, do you know that these 24 hours, I wish they can add more to it. When we're at home, we're busy doing our thing. Before you know, it's 4 o'clock already. And you'll be seeing your bed. But there are some people who have yielded themselves to sleep. Some people, they like sleeping, sir.
Yeah.
And I don't like those kind of people. You're wasting your time sleeping. Yeah, sleeping is good for the body, but like you said, this is not the time to sleep. A time to sleep will come when you have achieved all of those things that we have said. Well, I don't want us to, based on this area for too too long. There's something you said that one of your when you saw the instrumentalists in your church, they were misbehaving, and you decided to learn instrument, and one of your aim is to generate people from the church that will play instruments in the church, like members and all of that. But sir, there's something I noticed in church. Most, sorry to say, most men of God, they are selfish.
Okay.
They are selfish. They have this thing in their mind that if I raise this person in the church, that is why you see some musicians in church, pastors like Pastor Chris, you see them bringing people out of their church, sponsoring their music and all that till they get to the next level in music. But some pastors, they don't want to do that. What comes to their mind? If I raise this person, the next thing you will know, he will leave the church. If I train musicians or instrumentalists, those kids, if I train them how to sing, spend my money for them to learn this thing, before you know it, they will leave. What do you think about that? You know what I'm saying is truth. It's truth. It's truth. Many of them don't want to do it. Even if you come, you as a person, or you are in a church, or you are in a choir, they know that you can sing, or you have the gift to write songs and all of that. Nobody wants to sponsor you because they feel that once they do that, you progress, you will leave the church. Why should they think about what the person will do? Why can't they think of the now, what the person has already done in the church, that help he has rendered in the church? Talk, so talk. We want to know. We want to know. You're a pastor. That's why I'm saying this. It shock you. No, I want to answer.
I want to say
People are listening. Though. I said something in this place. I said, I'll be saying some things that people don't have any to say. Yeah, that's one of the reasons for this platform. Okay. Like, speak your mind. Okay.
Well, mandukare et vivere.
Is that in tongues or French language?
No. Okay. This is a Latin expression that says, in this matter, we will eat and drink.
Oh, we should move it to the bishops.
No. What I want to say is this. The reason why I'm saying we will eat and drink on this matter, it's because there is a lot to discuss about this. But I want to give a point of view. Okay. This pastor supported his musicians. Why are these other pastors not doing it? Baba, I want to let you know that music might not be, or that thing might not be the emphasis of every pastor. We don't all have the same priorities.
Okay, not all pastors will reason that way.
Yes.
So the ones that are raising that way,
no. It's not even about being raised. Okay. It's about priorities. I want to believe that being a pastor, it's not a title, it's a responsibility. Okay. It's a two-way responsibility. It is carrying God to people and carrying people to God. Okay. And for that, you will need to reach a certain level of spiritual ranking and stature. Okay. You can't reach that level in the ministry if previously you have not been trained to hear God. Okay. So what I'm trying to say is this. When a pastor reaches that level, that means he has been hearing God. Okay. So at that level and at that point, when a man of God is doing something, it's about the leading of the Holy Spirit.
If he's refusing to train people in the church,
no, not training people, sponsoring people into having their own careers in music, their own career.
Remember, you said something now.
Yes.
In order for the paid instruments not to misbehave or do their own thing, like you make mention of a paid instrumentalist, they come to church late and all of that. Now, you as a pastor, you see all of those things and it's not going well with you. And there are people whom you are supposed to sponsor in church, because now it's for your own good as a pastor to sponsor the members that you have seen that they are faithful in the church, that you can sponsor them so that they can be a permanent instrumentalist in the church.
Okay.
Should there be any reason why you shouldn't do that?
What I'm trying
Because
to say is this.
I can't go with what you're saying now that it should be by the leading of the Holy Ghost.
By the leading of the Holy Ghost, it means that the man of God was inspired by God to do the 1, 2, 3 he did.
Okay.
And just because he did does not give me the permission to say, okay, I have musicians that I also want to sponsor and launch in their music careers.
Okay.
Just because someone did. No, that's not how ministry works. A pastor can receive a leading about that and it's successful.
Okay.
You didn't receive a leading, but you want to do that. Meanwhile, you look in your church, you might not have the type of gift or talents that the pastor has in his church. And so you will try to sponsor people, but what are you launching in the body of Christ?
Okay.
It's all those things. So these things, it's personal.
Okay.
Now, that's one. The second thing I want to say is this. The training people should have in church has to disconnect them from any belief system that there is a material advantage in serving God. You need to raise people in ministry in letting them believe that money is not the first thing you receive when you serve God. 1, 2, that your reward will not always come from men. When you build that level of maturity in a person's mind, then the day you present a small envelope to support his ministry, the person will not complain because he is not entitled to that.
Sir, do you know you can only say this word now to the instrumentalists found in church, not the ones that you went to look for in the street? Because you can't okay, for example, if I'm a drummer or a keyboardist and you call me to your church that we are looking for instrumentalists, and I came to you and I'll start listening to you telling me you have to be in this church, you will get your reward from God and all of that. So I'm actually talking about those instrumentalists that were employed to come play in the church. Okay, that's I think we are diverting now, but it's fine. We can stay. We can stay.
But that's why I said mando carry et bibere.
Okay.
Il y a manger à boire, as we say in French. We will eat and drink in this matter. There is a lot to talk about.
Talk about it.
Because I can take you to another aspect of this issue and demonstrate to you that every gift and every talent is like a plant or a tree or a seed. And every seed has a peculiar soil for its growth and blossoming. I don't believe in a musician that is in the air and he goes to any church. It does not exist. Because the reason why you have been given the grace to have what you have, it is for the body of Christ or for a peculiar people. The calling of God, it's not for you. The gifts we have, the gift of prophecy, the gift of dreams, the gift of this, those things are not for us. Those gifts and those things are given for the purpose of other people.
So what about the secular musicians? Because these days we see secular musicians. As far as I'm concerned, right now,
I know we will get there, but I want to say this. This is just another aspect that I'm showing you. Baba, I've been there, going around churches playing music. They are paying me. You will not get anywhere. You will not go far. You will remain there.
Wow.
You will remain there. I've been there. I've done that in a certain period of time. So I'm talking experientially. I've done that. I've even had churches where they will tell me, come sit down here. We are giving you a house. We are giving you a car. We are paying you. All we need you to do is be on that keyboard. I know that. I've been into that. I've done that.
Okay.
So I'm encouraging my brothers. I'm encouraging my little brothers. I'm encouraging the brothers in the body of Christ that when you have a talent, when you have a gift, there is a location where that gift will prosper.
Okay.
When you have a destiny, destiny has a destination. Sorry, destiny has a location. There is a location where your destiny will come to pass. The reason why people are not growing, it's because they are here and there and there and everywhere. If you will get in a place and sit down, this is the problem. The problem is we have a generation that has not been trained. It is not a bad thing to pay a musician, but the problem is the term pay. That's the issue. The problem is the term pay. That's why the problem is in the foundation. The type of mindset the person was built with. That is the problem. The mindset, the type of teachings, the way the person was raised. That's why I said, when you raise people in the church and you let them know that when you are serving God, money will not be the first thing. Do you know that the first thing that you need in life, there is something beyond money that you can have in life and you will have everything?
Okay.
It's relationships.
Relationship. Okay.
It's not money. Relationships are more expensive than money.
Okay.
You can have money with relationships. You need relationships, and you can have things that sometimes money cannot buy with relationships. There are things, there are accesses you will have in life by relationship, not money. Just like right now, if you have 60 million US dollars and you want to buy a plane, where are you going to start? Right now. You don't know who to call, you don't know where they sell planes, the private jets, you don't know where they run, you don't know what company, you have no idea. Guess what brings those things? Relationship. In finance, we call this network capital. A human being needs to have a network capital. If you don't have a network capital, there are things you will not have access to, even if you have the money. So it's very, very, very much important. So just to close on this subject, what I wanted to say is, it's about the mindset, it's about the people, it's about how the people have been raised. You will realize, go in the marketplace, I've been there, go in the marketplace. Everybody that thinks that I can go here, I can go here, I can go there. So it thinks that it's now a job to go and play everywhere they are paying him. That's what his life will result in.
Okay. So should we now say?
So
Okay.
My first message is to the people that do that.
Okay.
It is to my brothers who have the gift, the grace of God. I know some of them will now tell me that, oh, I paid money to get to this level of knowledge because I studied music or I spent and all this stuff. That is not a problem. The first thing is this: get the location and sit down. There is an appointed place for your gift to blossom.
Okay.
Get into that place, and if somebody was not raised to understand that money is not the first reward when you serve God, it's going to be difficult. Now, to the men of God, it is a good thing to support. It is a good thing to support. The reason why I don't want to talk about money, it is because when you are seated somewhere and you are faithful, the doors that will open for you are beyond that salary they are giving you. And the connections that the pastor can open for you and the level of covering you're even receiving spiritually will be beyond the salary. So I'm trying to tell my brothers to remove their eyes from the salary, to find a place and to sit down in that church.
Not everyone will like this.
I know that not everyone will agree to this, but that is
Okay.
on the basis of my own experience, and the Lord will help us.
Okay. So let me ask. Let's say if you start up a church again, let's say you have a church now, would you pay instrumentalists to have a good music in church?
If I have a church now,
would you pay instrumentalists?
Foundation.
Foundation.
The foundation is the problem. Why am I talking about foundation? I can't run a long journey relationship with people that don't have commitment.
Okay.
So sometimes the problem of pastors is not the paying. It's the question, are these people going to be committed? Do you know where money came from? Money came from the commitment question and problem.
Mm.
Because they know that you will not commit, so they now bring a salary.
Oh, the pastor of instrumentalists.
The pastors.
Okay.
You see, salary for musicians is, and one of my mentors told me one day, if we have to pay musicians, okay, what about intercessors? What about those that are cleaning the church?
But you see, musicians, like I said, sir.
Because if you will think that the most powerful department in the church is music, you are wrong.
Okay, you know what I want to say now? If we are talking about the ones found in church,
Yes.
fine, you can tell me don't pay them. But the one you went to look for, you are the one who went to look for them. You
Yes,
can't go and look
if
for
you-
musicians on the street and you come and tell them
If
that
you-
the Lord will strengthen
No.
you.
If no,
The Lord will strengthen
If
you
you
and
went-
the Lord will supply all your needs.
no. If you went to look for them,
That's what I'm actually saying. Because
and
these days you hardly find musicians in church.
okay, listen. There is a difference between a professional musician and a minister.
A minister.
What we are raising in church is ministers, not professionals.
Ministers in what aspect?
Okay.
Because it's like you're not getting me. Let's say I start a church today and I just have like 15 members and none of them are instrumentalists. Now I have keyboard, I have drum and all that.
You are acquiring skills. You will need to pay for the skills.
That's what I'm saying now, and that's what these guys are complaining about. That, and most of them that even pay, they don't even pay well. As far as you go to the streets to pick these guys, come and play for me. Don't tell them that you are supporting their gift.
Sorry.
Or you are supporting their ministry.
They don't pay well in terms of what? Because when we pay, we don't pay for your gift. Freely we received, freely we give. So I can't pay for your gift.
You are going too spiritual.
I pay. I will pay not for your gift. I can't pay for your gift because it's a gift. You didn't pay to receive it. Freely we receive, freely we give.
What about the ones that learn?
Wait, I am paying for your skills. And the salary I'm giving you is proportional with the excellency of your skill. More you are excellent in your skill, more you are getting money. That's why I say we need to differentiate between a professional musician and a minister. A minister grows into a location, into a place. A professional musician is now the one that can now go around and decide that, okay, and all the stuff. And when we pay, we are not paying your gift because it's a gift you received. We pay for your skill.
Okay.
And the amount you receive is proportional to the excellency and the effectiveness of your skill.
Okay.
This is now this is now a business topic because this is now about value.
Okay.
What the world pay for and what the world is looking for, it's value. Okay. All these things are embezzled and encapsulated in one term: relevance. When you are relevant, what is business?
Okay. Okay. Let's try to cut our answer short because of load shedding is coming up in 30 minutes time. But I asked a question. I just need just one word.
Yes.
So will you pay an instrumentalist in your church? Yes or no?
If I want to look for him,
okay,
I will pay for the skills that I acquired.
Okay.
Just like in a normal company and institution.
Okay. Okay. There's a question I wanted
but
to
there is
ask,
a strategy that I can do. I can find a professional guy to come and raise the people that I have inside.
Yeah, you'll pay that professional person. Okay. So how would the payment be? How are you going to pay somebody according to his knowledge in that thing, like the amount you pay him? If the person plays well, if he's a professional, you pay better. You will pay more higher money than if the person.
As I said, the amount or the salary or the honorarium you are receiving is proportional to the excellency and effectiveness of your skill.
All right.
How much are we seeing your relevance in the church and in that particular department?
So how will you?
What are you bringing on the table? It is on the basis of that you are now calculate that it. So the value you bring determines what you receive as honorarium.
Okay, so do you think that if an instrumentalist is invited in a church to come and play, do you think they should give them like, should I call it, is it probation, we call it or whatever, like 2 weeks to play and see the knowledge of that person? That
depends on the kind of context into which they called him. They
Agreement.
called him to come and play. They called him to cover a service, or they
Okay.
called him to cover a program, or they called him to become permanent. That will depend mostly on that.
I've seen some pastors who are looking for instrumentalists, and when they found one and they said, "Okay, I don't know you before. I want you to play for like 2 weeks. Let me see what you can offer before we talk about money." It's not something wrong, right?
This is the reason why in the corporate world we have something called curriculum.
Okay.
Because you will not go and work in a company and then they tell you, okay, we want to check you for 2 weeks.
Mm.
No, that's why before they saw you face to face, they first saw your curriculum.
Oh, okay. But most company does it these days. I think that's what for you to work these days. Even your certificate or your degree does not even matter these days
It's
because
about
if,
your.
as a lawyer you can go and work in the bank. All they do now, they just train you for like 1 month or 2 weeks, which you will not earn salary.
That is because of a decrease in value and relevance and in skills in the marketplace.
Okay.
But in general, um, it depends on how desperate the people are.
Mm, mm,
It depends on how desperate the people are. And it really depends on how desperate the people are.
mm,
But it's actually, it can be a good thing.
mm.
Baba, I have seen guys that are very much skilled when the person touches the keyboard. But the spirit driving the person is something else. You know what will happen? The atmosphere that will be infused will open a door to demonic activities while I'm preaching.
Mm, mm, mm,
You see? So this question is a broad question. There are people that are very much skilled, but their life is not it's not in alignment and in synchrony with God.
Okay, this word now brings me to my next question now.
Please.
Do you think that instrumentalist that is being paid can connect spiritually to a church that is playing for? Or it's just going to be playing like someone who is working there, just let me just play month and let me receive my salary? Because I've seen it, and that's one of the reason most churches after the praise, after the worship center, immediately the man of God comes to the pulpit, those instrumentalists they walk
If
out from that that position, either to the back or outside the church,
Yeah.
and do their thing till
You
comes
see
to
the
music
danger now.
again.
If Israel will mingle with Baal,
Mm.
Moloch, and Babylon,
Mm.
and continue into that adultery, into that spiritual adultery.
Mm.
When a woman is into sexual innuendos,
Mm.
she can't.
Innuendos. Okay.
She can't connect to any of them.
Mm. Mm.
That is what happened,
Mm.
and that is the danger. That's why I addressed them to say, find the place,
Mm.
sit down.
Mm.
That is what we see in churches. That the minute the preaching starts, the person is at the back.
Mm.
So that's why I said we need to differentiate between professionals and ministers. Because for a minister, it is not a job, it's a ministry. So when somebody came to just play, now the person, when the preaching starts, the person goes outside. So we now have a problem because we don't know the spirit the person is coming with compared to the spirit that is being released from the pulpit. There will be a clash. One of the great men of God in Ghana, Bishop Anaba, Eastwood Anaba, he said,
Sorry, what's the time?
11, 20, 25.
Okay, 11
He said something. He said, the kind of musician you have in your church determines how far you will go in ministry.
Mm.
You see? So it depends on how much desperate people are, but you need to test the spirit operating.
So we can basically say there are some that can get connect spiritually in the church, if that is the place that is really assigned for them to be, or it depends on the
It depends on
individual,
the person.
the person, right? Because some instrumentalists are carnal. They are just too much. Some don't even have. That's why I'm thinking. For me, if I have a platform where instrumentalists should come and I want to do gospel and all of that, I don't think I will get secular musicians.
Yes.
Because I play little of drum and
Yes.
little of keyboard. There's this church I was playing for, a friend church and all that. They needed to, because there's a way I don't just play those complex things. I just know my chord and all of that. Do you know when I play it, if it's here, which I'll invite him to this platform one of these days, I cry. Especially drum. I feel that thing when I'm playing drum. I feel the spirit like I'm talking to myself,
Yes.
and I sing the thing inside me, and that thing that is inside me, I bring it out to the drum. So there are some people that I can actually invite if I am having a church, if I'm going to have a church of which I don't know if at all it happens, or not just a church, just like a platform. I used to have one which I opened, sorry. I used to have one when I opened a place where I was inviting different people. I will know the kind of people because most of those people, they are pastors that there shouldn't be any reason why a pastor should, sorry, there shouldn't be any reason why a pastor will come to the pulpit and start singing again. If the choir did well or if the instrumentalist did well because the spirit will be connected. So that's just it.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah, no, it's fine. You should sorry. Okay.
Please do.
Yeah, sorry.
I'm extremely sorry.
Okay, so
There is a guy that was possessed in the Bible.
Mm.
People know the story.
Mm.
And being possessed by the demons, another guy now was invited. Now, watch this. The deliverance process of that man, who was King Saul, happened by God inspiring David to play music. So they now called him. Let him play. Now, a man that plays a music instrument and demons are coming out of someone, what does that tell you? But there is more to this than just playing keys. I don't have the time to explain to you the role of music in spirituality. Whether you are in the secular world, whether you are in the Christian world, there is a role that it plays. There is a way it drives the atmosphere. There are musics and songs when you are listening to them, you are opening portals to demons in your house. Music is not do, re, touch a, sing like, no. Music drives spirits. Music set atmospheres. That's why it's very important for a musician to be spiritually set and matured. It's not only about how skillful you are at a certain level, it's also about your spirituality. So it is very, very much important to understand that there is more to this than just playing.
Okay. There's a question I want to ask. Please,
Please.
can you differentiate between a carnal music and a secular music for us? A carnal music and a secular music. Because people always say this word that stop listening to secular music. So, and I don't want to answer the question for myself because I just asked the question, but I would like to hear from you. If I have another idea to it, I will also speak about that. The difference between a carnal music and a secular music. Please, sorry, sir. For those of us who are watching and you want to call, there's an opportunity for you to call and ask question or contribute to whatever thing that we are saying. The line to call is 06062 I call again 0628125 You can go ahead, sir.
Thank you so much. This is usually something I open. It's a chapter that I open whenever I organize some music workshop.
Okay.
Or those trainings I spoke to you about, academies or music schools. I talk about those things when I'm training people. We talk about the difference between praise and worship, carnal music, secular music, and all those things. There is secular music in the Bible.
Secular music, okay.
What is carnal music? It is every arrangement, it's any musical arrangement, a song that by inspiration or by the foundation of the aim of it, it is to promote the flesh.
Promote the flesh. Okay. Like?
Like, you want me to give you an example of a song? I will get to that. May the Lord help me.
Okay.
Secular music, it is usually around social themes, social subjects, social issues.
Secular music.
Yes. Okay. That's why I say there is secular music in the Bible. Okay. Because you will find a song that is talking about a social issue happening within the land of Israel. You will find a song of how the people of Israel are praising God for bringing them out of Egypt. You will find a song of a man praising his woman, metaphorically. You will find all those things. Okay. But I believe the simple difference between secular music and carnal music is that carnal music promotes the flesh. It is first of all, it is inspired by the flesh. Those are the works of the flesh. And usually when you will listen to those kind of things, let me give you an example. I don't know if those songs exist. I believe they do. Many years ago, R&B music was around love and breakups and stuff. So when somebody is with a girlfriend or a boyfriend and then they break up, the way she will go through that period is to put a song that talks about the same subject.
Send a message.
You see? So she will not put a song that talks about the same aspect. No, you left me, but I'm strong and all those things. And those are things that are pumping up your flesh.
Okay.
Those are things that are pumping up your flesh.
So do you call that secular or carnal music?
No, that is carnal music.
Carnal music.
Secular music, it is when a musician stands and sings about the problem happening in the country. Okay. Like in my country, you will find a musician, even a Christian musician, singing about the war that is happening on the east side of my country. Like, let us all stand together, let us be united against this war, let us all those. That is secular music. So it's usually about social issues and all those things. That's the simple difference. But again, there are a lot of things around this subject. Yeah, but
that is true because of time. You know why I asked this question?
Yes.
People are fond of, especially Christians, believers, they always use the terms as a Christian, you're not supposed to listen to secular music. And when they make reference to such word, I just tell myself that these people they actually don't know the meaning of that word secular music. If you're talking about carnal music, I will understand, because songs like Happy Birthday to You, it's a secular song, it's not a Christian song.
Yes.
So when you are generalizing, stop playing secular music. You are even talking to yourself, because most of the songs we play it, but they are not carnal, but they are secular songs, because there's nothing bad in singing Happy Birthday, which we sing in church. And these days, you see some church when they are doing picnic or whatever in church or parties and all that, like workers' parties. There are some secular songs they play.
Okay.
Of which we're not going to mention names, artists, and all of that. Now,
Yes.
there's a lot of secular songs we play in church that are not bad. And this whole Christianity thing, there's a lot to say. There's a lot to say about Christianity.
Listen, there is an issue. The reason why many people are confused is because there is an aspect of music people don't really pay attention to. Inspiration. What inspired you? Listen, every song is backed up by a spirit. Every song. That's why I said, when you are listening to a song, you are opening yourself to the spirit operating behind the song. Why will people listen to, sorry to mention, why will people listen to Michael Jackson and they are falling and crying? What do you think is happening? Why do you think that people will be listening to metal? It's also a style of a genre of music. To metal, and there are certain manifestations that are, what do you think it is? Every song is backed up by a spirit. And that is so it's not first about the lyrics, it's about the inspiration. So usually when you find people saying, okay, this song is not bad, what they refer to is the lyrics.
The lyrics.
And the devil is very subtle.
Mm.
The devil is very subtle because you will see the lyrics and say there is nothing wrong with this.
Mm.
But then there is a spirit that is driving the song.
Mm.
Obviously, there is carnal music, demonic music, where you will find certain coded things.
Mm.
And if you don't pay attention to those things, you are opening yourself to demonic activities, as I said. But we need to pay attention to inspiration. The reason why you will find people saying that Christians should not listen to these other music styles or genres, it's because of the spirit that is in the song. Okay? The spirit that is in the song.
Mm.
We don't have time. Maybe one of the days we will discuss about. I look at this the same way I look at wine,
Okay.
smoking.
Okay.
I don't smoke because God told me not to smoke.
Mm.
I don't smoke because it does not have any relevance in my life. Okay?
Mm.
So it will not take me anywhere.
Anyway.
In contrary, it is destroying me health-wise.
Mm. Mm.
You see, that's how I look at this.
Mm.
So that's the perspective I have about those things. So you don't listen to something because the spirit that is involved might affect you, might penetrate in you, might it's not relevant.
Mm.
And if it's not relevant, don't do it.
Okay.
So it's mostly in that sense, but of course there is so much to talk about
I'm
this.
telling you, there's a lot of things I actually prepared to ask, but because of time,
It's okay.
we'll just limit some few things. Okay, let me come to the pastoral aspect. You know, there are a lot of things. Okay, okay, let me answer this. Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Yes, I've got a question for the man of God speaking on life.
All right, you feel free to. We're listening, sir.
Okay. What I want to ask is,
Sorry, where are you calling from, sir?
I'm calling from Cape Town.
Cape Town, and your name?
My name is Eric.
Eric. All right, speak to us, sir.
Yes. My question is, say for example, because I've been to churches where the man of God will cry about someone not paying tithes, right? And according to what I know, according to what I've read in the Bible, that God said if you even offend someone and you are coming with your offering, first go back and apologize to the person before giving the offering. So I really want to understand this. Say for example, someone is getting his money through a dirty means, right?
Okay.
Is that person obligated to bring the tithe from that particular job that is not godly into the church as it is my tithe? That's what I want to know.
All right, let's go back to you, sir. That's a good one. Just stay online while he answered the question.
Well, you can disconnect so that we can receive other calls, but it's okay.
Okay, thank
I
you.
will answer.
Okay, probably you might want to say something to your answer. So let him stay online. Just stay online while he answers the question.
When you have someone in the church gaining money through dirty means, should we still require tithe from that?
Okay.
He has left. It's okay.
Okay.
This is all about foundation. Listen, Hosea chapter 4, verse 6, the Bible says, my people are destroyed from lack of knowledge.
Okay.
Isaiah chapter 60, verse 1, 2. Darkness, arise and shine for your light is come, and the glory of God is risen upon you. Darkness covers the earth, and gross darkness the people.
Mm.
The gross darkness then is ignorance,
Mm.
the absence of light.
Mm.
Light as knowledge, the knowledge of God.
Mm.
It is these things that are creating all this commotion in the body of Christ today.
Mm.
If we will answer to this question effectively, Holy Spirit help me, we will need to look at the question of tithing.
Mm. Mm.
We will need to look at the question.
Just answer his question with one word. Because of time.
Okay.
What do you think about that?
The first thing that I want to say is this: everywhere you are required to give
Mm.
in a manipulative way,
Mm.
that's witchcraft, and that is not from God.
In a manipulative way.
Yes.
What about if the man of God don't even know what you as a tither is doing for living, and you're bringing that money?
That's what I'm first addressing. That
Okay.
every church you attend, where giving is now extortion
Mm.
or manipulation,
Mm.
where a pastor will stand and say, "If you don't tithe, it will be tight for you."
Okay.
And
Sorry, sir. I think.
okay, wait,
So to be honest, there's a lot. There's a,
wait, wait, wait.
Okay, I'm listening. Okay.
Giving is to be given freely.
Okay.
What you do, this is a problem with the foundation, and this is the problem with doctrinal foundation we have from the men of God that have taken over pulpits.
Mm.
We have not been trained
Okay.
enough to be able to respond to certain things effectively. When you administer the word of God properly to someone,
Mhm.
you will not need to manipulate the person into giving.
Okay. I hope you're not forgetting this question.
Yes.
It said when the man of God knows that the person is doing a dirty business.
I'm answering.
I'm still taking
I'm
tithes.
answering.
So let's just based on the man of God knows that this person is doing this thing.
No. If the man of God knows
Mhm.
that this person is into dirty, the money, the source of this money is dirty,
Okay.
but the man of God is still requiring tithe from that. So that's an association of thieves.
Association of thieves. And do you know
So
that
Jesus is not there. That's what I'm talking about. Because the role of the man of God is to represent God adequately into the life of the person. I said something one day. If your life as a man of God cannot inspire people to fear God, you have not started ministry.
so which means
So if the man of God knows, yet is that's a club.
so if you're saying that to the best of my understanding, sorry to say this, which means there's a lot of man of God, 90% man of God will not go to make heaven. Because no man of God will tell me that he don't know what 50% of his member does. As far as I'm concerned, which means many man of God. So, sir, I think we are answering your question.
We are answering your question.
So, if that pastor
knows
that he knows what the member is doing,
and he can't rebuke you and represent God. Listen, if a man of God in life cannot bring you cannot challenge you to fear God. If a man of God does not challenge your level of purity, sanctification, and living in the fear of God, he has not started ministry. So knowing that this source is dirty, and you can't challenge the person that what you are doing is wrong because he's the person supporting your ministry financially. That means it is not God who called you.
Okay. Sorry to cut you short.
Please.
So the man preaching it on the pulpit alone, saying, you in this church, if you know you are doing the wrong business, don't pay your tithe, don't give me money, don't do this. Is that enough? Why can't they just put a ban? Put a ban, please and please. If you know you are doing a wrong business, I don't take tithe from you. Don't pay tithe otherwise. But some just feel that God are listening to them when they preach it on the pulpit. Church like Redeem, sorry to say, Church like Redeem. I think I was in the camp. That was years back, 2000, those 2003, 4, 5, and all that. The man said it on the pulpit. If you know you are doing a wrong business, don't pay tithe in this church. But some just preach it. God is against what you are doing, whatever. They don't say don't pay the tithe.
That's why I said we will even need to look back into the question of tithing. But we don't have time for that. So if the man of God knows that the business you are doing is wrong, the first thing you should listen, when you get in a church, one of the easiest way to know that God is in that church, it's not first the miracles or the prophecies or the testimonies. It is one term, transformation. When you get in a church, you don't see transformation. That somebody had a worldly life and he has been raised by the mentality of Christ as a conqueror to conquer the flesh and to live up to the alignment with God. We still have a lot of work to do. So if you can't be, if the man of God cannot rebuke you, because I've also met few of them, that the man of God will not be able to rebuke because that's the person supporting the ministry. He knows that the life of the person is not in alignment with Christ. That is why the ministry will not prosper. Prosper in the terms of God still speaking from the pulpit. Jesus has run away from many pulpits. You see? So, in your question, should the man of God just say it or what? The man of God should not even talk about it. The man of God should focus on releasing life, the life of Christ from the pulpit.
And if people are not listening, so because what I want to ask now, what about the ones that have been established from such people,
Establish
or
how?
financially prospered and all of that,
Yes.
from such people who bring money?
That's what
So-
I'm saying. When a ministry is supported by a set of people financially, this is why it's dangerous. This is the reason why many men of God that God will prosper, they will go through hardship.
Hardship.
This is the reason why a lot of men of God, gifted and called from God, in their journey to destiny, they go through serious hardship because God is trying to disconnect them from their dependency on material stuff. God will send ravens to feed Elijah by the brook, but that feeding and that water by the brook cannot last for long. The Bible says, and the water dried. The reason is we should not rely on divine provision. We rely on who? The provider.
Okay. I think this will be the last question,
Please.
if I'm not mistaken. There is something I noticed in church that are prospered, like church that are wealthy, but we have a lot of people who are suffering in the church. And this church, they don't help these people, but they help outsiders. What will you say about that?
Okay, then I need to understand the meaning of the church is wealthy. What does it mean?
Financially, there are churches that you see, you can tell yourself that this church, there's money in the church, and there are some church you will see that you know that this person is struggling, and you will always see that in the life of the set man.
Okay. I will look at this question and say that it's mostly about cultures.
Cultures
Yes.
to help the
Uh,
many people in church.
cultures in a sense of, in many churches from I don't know if I should really say this, but maybe I should talk about it.
But don't call me, man.
No.
Okay.
Should I say it? The way white people run ministry is different with the way black people run ministry. A white man will have a church and will organize an hospital and a school, and then they are very strong in social and philanthropy. Black people are not. When the set man starts dressing well and driving well, people now think the ministry is successful. The success of a ministry is not seen in the life of the set man. The success of the ministry is measured by the impact of the ministry in the society.
I get that one. The impact
of the ministry in the society. So this is a broad thing, because you will realize in countries like mine, Congo, in one avenue, on one street, you can have 50 churches.
Like
so the question is, why many churches in Africa, but Africa is where it is? You see? So the success of a ministry or a church, it is not measured by the life of the set man. No. It's calculated by how much impact that church has had in the community. This is the reason why it is very hard to see mighty lawyers, mighty philosophers, mathematicians, doctors, businessmen in churches. It is now that things have started to change because of the mentality we run ministry with.
I think they are.
Ministry is a place where we build capacity and we send people outside. Because the intention of church and ministry, God wants to take over territories. The ultimate intention for a ministry, it is to fulfill the desire, the long desire in the heart of God, that he declared upon man. Go and have dominion. So it is very sick when we are coming to church, we are praying too much. We are going back in the marketplace to deposit CVs by people that don't worship the God. You see?
That is good. Actually, I wrote that. What I wrote, I said about what you just said. I said we usually hear people saying Christians are broke. We see Christians pray and pray and pray, yet they go back home and sit waiting for manna to fall. Because Christians actually feel that after prayer there should be a manna that will fall from
Will
heaven.
fall from heaven.
Why the people who don't even go to church they get rich every
They are
day?
in the
And now
marketplace.
we bring a topic like we start asking stupid questions in church. Why are people in church not getting richer, but people who don't go to church they are rich? Then there is a word that will always come. God, God will take the wealth of the Gentiles and all of that, all of those funny, funny words. So,
We have missed the sense of church and ministry.
mhm.
We are supposed to take over outside in the marketplace. The reason why demonic agenda is prospering in the marketplace, it's because the devil is empowering people to go and make them in and sit them in high places. So the devil has agent in the government, law givers, lawmakers. He has agent among lawyers. He has agent among education. Now in education, he has succeeded to implement certain things. Decisions are being taken and Christians are sleeping. It is because all we know is prayer and coming to church.
Not just the prayer only. Christians are fond of doing these things or saying this thing does not belong to Christians.
So it has
Christians
become a
can be,
religion.
you know the life that I live. I always say this: the way I gave my life to Christ, nobody was there. So the year we are in South Africa, and I came from Nigeria. I gave my life to Christ in Nigeria, and I knew how I gave my life to Christ. So my own Christianity is different. I dress the way I want to dress. I don't dress because one man of God will see me and tell me. I go anywhere I want to go to because why my Christianity is inside me. That's what I believe in. I am not an isolated Christian who locks himself inside the house praying and all of that. I go out. I don't think there's a.
You need to be tested
There
outside.
are no places. There are no place I don't know in Cape Town. And okay, for example, let's say you who is scared to go to this certain place, or you are scared to. For if a man who I don't know how to put this. For example, you have not seen those things, and maybe one day you are inside the house, a woman just went naked in front of you. If you can't resist the one outside, are you sure you can resist the one inside? So why I'm saying this is that you don't want to go see what is happening there. You are always inside. Now you are busy criticizing this thing is wrong, this thing. Why you've not been there before. Church like Pastor Christ Embassy, do you know that they share tracks even in front of club in Nigeria? They go, you know what is tracks, right?
Okay,
Those
yes.
yeah, they preach
The
one.
pamphlets,
Yeah,
yes.
they go there, you see them, not like they dress like church boy, church girl, or whatever. They go, they dress the way others are dressing.
Okay.
Just for them, like for you to receive them.
Okay.
Because the moment I see you with suits in front of a club and all of that, I will start running away from you. I will start running away from you. I won't give you that opportunity to talk to me, even if you have the whole world to change me. I won't, because I've already seen you as a pastor already, wearing suit and tie. But these guys, they dress ruggedly and they go there, they share the word and they make impact in life. There's this one is it social media or so, where somebody, a girl, is it a girl or a guy, invited a guy to inside an hotel room just to preach. And it changed the life of that person. So these things can actually happen in different ways. Like you said, there's a lot to discuss, But I don't just want to base this talk show church related. It should be all aspect of life where people should learn. I believe I'm going to invite you again. There's a lot to talk about. Yeah, there's a lot. And people, you see, like the brother that just called now, people have unanswered questions.
Yes.
Unanswered questions.
People have unanswered
People are
questions.
troubled. People go to church
know.
every day. Some are in pains. Some have questions. Gone are those days whereby churches they have Bible studies where after the administration there will be an opportunity for people to even ask questions. But these days churches have shut that. They shut it down. So we just go to church and hear whatever thing the man of God wants to say. Even if he's saying the right thing or the wrong thing, we go back home.
our mind are confused. Christians are confused. There's no room for us to speak. Is I wish all these things can be brought back.
Okay.
I wish it can happen. This thing of saying these days church have to close 2 hours and all of that, yeah, it's good because time is important. But there's a lot of things that has been
People have
skipped.
questions out
Yeah. How will people ask those questions? People are even scared of their man of God. They are not scared of God, but they are scared of their man of God to even ask some certain questions because they will use you to preach in church. So people are scared. Well, before we close this chapter, sorry, I believe there are people who are online who might have written something. There, sorry, is there anyone who asks a question online before we close this chapter? No, no question. Okay, it's just a comment. Okay, sir. Before we round up this broadcast for the day, just what do you want to tell our viewers all out there? What do you want to say to them? Those people who have those questions to ask, and then there's no room or opportunity for them to ask it.
Okay, what I feel like saying, right? First of all, thank you so much, guys, for following us. Make this your house. Make this your channel. Click in the buttons. Get connected. Subscribe. Remain connected because these guys will be your platform to get answers that you can't get outside or somewhere there. So remain connected here. What I feel like saying is that. So thank you so much for following us. Please send questions even after this broadcast.
Okay.
We will come again. We will answer those questions. Feel free and be yourself, and the Lord will help you. We know that people have many questions out there. And this is the time where the truth should be said
It's
and
true.
uttered. So we believe that the Lord will help us to make an impact into people's lives. People have deep questions
Deep, very deep.
about spirituality, about relationship and dating, even in church, about marriage and divorce, about all those things. And so make this a platform where you will get answers to all those questions because as the time is going, we will be able to receive people from all walks of life to come and share their knowledge and experience for all of us to be fed and advance and grow. So I just want to bless God for all these things. And I want to tell you the last thing that I might say is Christianity, it's not in church, it's in the marketplace. Christianity is not in church, it's in the marketplace. We know how much, you know how much somebody is wise in the midst of a problem. So we know how much you have increased in your level of spirituality or happy or holiness or purity by how things happen in the marketplace, how you are living outside. Everybody plays churchy inside the church. Everybody plays soft inside the church. Everybody plays good inside the church. It is your life in the marketplace that reveals if you really know the Lord. And I even encourage men of God that train people and release them in the marketplace to go and make an impact. That is how entirely, as a general thing, our society will grow. The reason why we have a lot of bad values in the society, it is because we are quiet. All we are saying is talk in tongues, speak in tongues, pray for this amount of no. We have an impact, we have a responsibility in our society. That's why we are fighting. Okay, these people are dressing like this, but what impact are you making in the society? Are we really going to continue coming to church and speaking in tongues for 5 hours and go back to look for jobs to people that don't know the God we serve? It is time to train people in all walks of life. God has raised, Moses was not a pastor. Moses was a politician. Okay? Moses was. So God has raised politicians. God has raised governors. God has raised prophets. God has raised. We can't just focus in the church. There is a territory to gain and to take over in the marketplace. Remember what God said. Go and have dominion. May the Lord bless you.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you, Minister God, Prophet God, Pastor God. It's good having you in this place today. Thanks so much. I just want to appreciate you for all the work. I believe we have learned something today. We have learned something. For me, I've learned something. There are some things he said which has been bothering me. I believe I've had, gotten an answer for that. For the viewers, please, like I said, let your Christianity be inside you. And we shouldn't focus so much on what people think about us. Let's focus on those things that we say that are good for us. Thank you very much. And I believe in our next broadcast, I don't know if it's going to be the next or another one, but I believe we're going to invite you again, sir.
Okay.
We're going to invite you
Thank
again.
you.
Thanks for watching. Thanks for staying connected to this platform or channel, Inspire with the Aspiration. I will advise every one of us, you can follow us on YouTube, Inspire with the Aspiration, and on Facebook we have a page, Inspire with the Aspiration, or my personal Facebook. We are still trying to work on so many things. Today is the first day we just started this, so we have not gotten a lot of things right. And on my Instagram, it's D_DE_aspiration_ empire, and TikTok is the aspiration. So follow me on this platform, of which I will post the video. I will post the video again so we can go through it and actually share. And don't just watch the live broadcast only. Make sure you share it, comment, and like on our YouTube. Please do subscribe. That's one of the thing I'm gonna like I said before,
Yes.
it's those things are something that we do willingly.
Yes, yes.
We're not forcing, but we're begging for you to subscribe to our channel and share the live broadcast so that it can reach as many people who actually desire for words like this.
Yes,
It's a platform that our questions will be answered. Like the brother that just called now, he asked a question. I believe we probably might have answered him rightly. That's why he didn't call back. And for those of us who have questions to ask, please keep your question in our next broadcast. I will announce the date. I'll put it on our social media platform. The day we'll be having another meeting like this again.
Yes, yes.
Thanks for watching and stay blessed. God bless everyone.